In light of what happened to Jaxson Paulo last Thursday night, where he was attacked online, Instagram, they privately messaged him, death threats, horrible stuff. The kid was inconsolable in the dressing rooms. I thought I'd get my co-host and good friend, and we've become like a family, me, him and Brownie, doing Rabbitohs Fan TV over the last couple of years, to get his thoughts on it. If anyone would know, he had a bit of a Barry Crocker there in 1987, but it didn't define him. He went on to have a great career. Mavo, first start with Jaxson, mate.
I really feel for Jaxson. Like you said, Chaps, I have been there in 87. Lucky for me, it was 35 years ago now, and I've put it behind me. I've learned to live with it. But you know, these days, it's disgusting. These online trolls sending him these messages, and no one should have to deal with that. And we did a post on our show saying, "Hold your head up high, Jaxson," and that you should, mate. You know, he's played 42 NRL games and scored 19 tries. Now, anyone would be happy to score one try, play one NRL game. This guy's a good player. He had a bad day at the office, and yes, I've been there, Chaps. And back in my day, there wasn't social media, you know, and these days it's just part of life. So, you know, for people saying to Jaxson, "Oh, just don't listen to it," and it's very hard to ignore because it's part of everyday life now.
Yeah, look, we'll go back to 87. You had a couple of errors at the SCG in a big semi against Canberra. They got hooked 12-13 minutes into the contest. You know, you were very upset and went home and all that. Now in the coming weeks and the coming months and years, obviously there's no online. What sort of abuse and backlash did you catch?
Well, yeah, over the years I have copped abuse, and you know, I've just learned to live with it and turn a blind eye. I've never really bite back when people have a go at me, but you know, back in the day, no social media, but I'd have people come up to me in a club and hold up a Canberra Raiders key ring and say, "Here, mate, this is for you," or you know, call me Butterfingers or whatever. All right, but you know, it's just something you've got to deal with. And
you did drop a coffee at the Park Cafe the other day. We won't go there, but look, it must have upset you internally, and your family must have been upset, mate. Because I know right now, if you happen to be going through what Jaxson Paulo went through, I know I'd be upset as a good friend. I'd be seething. I'd be defending you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've learned to deal with it, and you know, Jaxson Paulo, like I said, is a good player, and there's a lot of good footy to come for him. And in my defence, you know, I ended up playing another 4 or 5 seasons, and we were minor premiers in 1989. And I know Jackson's got plenty of good football ahead of him. You know, he knows his way to the try line. And you know, yes, he had a bad day, but we've just spoken to nearly all his teammates, and every one of them to a man said they're cowards. There's no place for that. And you know, I hate a keyboard warrior myself. I still get one every now and then, and you know, I just try not to acknowledge it. Yeah. But you know, when it's...
But you're a much more mature man these days, and in your early 20s, you would have been, you'd have been very upset, and it would have been hard to deal with. Look, where are we going to go with this as a society? We shouldn't be accepting this sort of stuff. People can make up a fake profile, don't even put their picture on it, put a picture of Mickey Mouse and attack someone privately just for doing their job, NRL player or whatever. Where do you think we should go with this as a society? Like, should be laws being changed?
Oh, absolutely, Chaps. There should be laws, and you know, the cowards that are doing this, it's a crime to threaten someone's life. It always has been, and you know, it's a sport. The bloke's out there doing his best, you know, just like I was back in the day. So, you know, there's no place for that in society. And yeah, if they toughen up the laws, and people should be held accountable with big fines, jail terms. And then people might realise that, you know, just because you're sitting there with your phone or a computer and no one's there to call you out on it, it's not okay. It's definitely not okay. And like Jai Arrow said, they wouldn't come down to training and face us out on the field for 10 minutes. They wouldn't last. You know, these guys are athletes, and you know, but they're also human beings who have got feelings, and you know, they're out there doing their best, and they're doing a job, and they're doing their best for their team.
Well, like I said to a couple of the players, he's played 42 games, and I tell you, he'll play a lot more first grade with this club going forward, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the match winner on the weekend.
Absolutely. Jaxson, we stand right behind you here on Rabbitohs Fan TV. I've been there, mate. Better days ahead for you.
Thanks, Mavo.